Hey, Uncle Harlan, this is Joe again. I hope you're doing well. I'm going to go ahead and list off the different things you're going to be listening to today on this playlist. The first one is inspirational gospel hymns. After that, you will have Pony Rider Boys in the Alkali, an audiobook. The next will be a documentary called El Cid, The Knight Who Saved Spain. Next will be The Days of Noah, Adrian Rogers. I'm assuming a sermon. Um, the next will be Nine Kindest Dog Breeds in the World. Um, Not sure what that is. Next will be The Key to Making Wise Decisions by Dr. Charles Stanley. Next will be The Furnace of Faith by Dr. David Jeremiah, a sermon. Next will be a documentary called Charles Dickens, Tale of Ambition and Genius documentary. After that will be The Thrill of Trusting God, a sermon by Dr. Charles Stanley. After that, you have another sermon, The Awareness of God's Presence, also by Dr. Charles Stanley. Next, you'll have a sermon by Dr. David Jeremiah called God Shows You How to Cope with the Most Difficult Times. Next will be an audiobook, A Gold Hunter's Experience. After that will be a documentary, maybe, called Luther, The Life and Legacy of the German Reformer. After that, you will have a stand-up comedian called Stuff Happens, Mike Warnk, a Christian comedian. Um, and then after that, you will listen to The Story of Pony Express, an audiobook. All right, and now we have the jokes that Dad provided also. So if these aren't good, you got to blame him again. Um, so the first one is, Lord, I have a problem. What's the problem, Eve? I know that you created me and provided me this beautiful garden and all the wonderful animals, as well as this hilarious comedic snake, but I'm just not happy. And why is that, Eve? Lord, I am lonely, and I'm sick to death of eating apples. Well, Eve, in that case, I have a solution. I shall create a man for you. Man? What is that, Lord? A flawed creature with many bad traits. He'll lie, cheat, and be vain. All in all, he'll give you a hard time, but he'll be bigger, gassier, and will like to hunt and kill things. I'll create him in such a way that he will satisfy your physical needs. He'll be witness and will revel in childish things like fighting and kicking a ball about. He won't be as smart as you, so he will also need your advice to think properly. Sounds great, says Eve, with ironically raised eyebrows, but what's the catch, Lord? Well, you can have him on one condition. And what's that, Lord? As I said, he'll be proud, arrogant, and self-admiring. So you'll have to let him believe that I made him first, and it will have to be our little secret, woman to woman. Next is, I was diagnosed with a chronic fear of giants. Fee-fi phobia. And then the last one is, how do you make a waterbed more bouncy? You add spring water. All right, so that's the list of the things that you'll be listening to today, and I hope you enjoy them.